I trusted him with everything, my mornings, my passwords, my future. And then one Tuesday, while he was in the shower, his second phone lit up with a name I'd never heard, and my entire life rearranged itself in the space of 10 seconds. My name is Zara. I was 24, working double shifts at a marketing agency, eating sad desk lunches, and genuinely believing that love was supposed to feel like exhaustion. Daniel made exhaustion feel romantic. He called it building together. He had this way of talking about money, future money, theoretical money, the money we'd have someday, that made me feel like we were already rich. He quoted financial gurus. He talked about compound interest at dinner. He had a vision board, for God's sake. I thought I'd found someone serious, someone ambitious, someone safe. We moved in together after 8 months. That was when the habits started revealing themselves, not his wealth-building habits, but his hiding ones. He woke up at 5 a.m. every day. I thought it was discipline. I'd watch him from under the covers, this sharp-jawed man in the blue pre-dawn light, hunched over his phone, typing fast. Morning markets. He'd say, if I stirred, "Go back to sleep, babe." And I did, because I believed him. Because the language of ambition is so easy to mistake for love. He kept 2 notebooks on his desk. I never opened them. He said they were trading journals, strategy, risk assessment, exit points. He'd explained it all once with such confidence that I'd felt embarrassed for not understanding, and after that I never asked again. That was the first red flag I painted over with my own insecurity. The money thing escalated slowly. He started talking about passive income streams. He'd disappear for hours on weekends, saying he was networking, meeting investors, building his brand. He used that phrase constantly, building his brand, like it was a religion. Meanwhile, I was paying for groceries, covering most of the rent, sending my mother money every month while quietly drowning. When I brought it up once, gently, he looked at me with this practiced disappointment and said, "I thought you believed in us." So I swallowed it. Again. Then came the habits I couldn't explain away. He started deleting his call history every night. I noticed because I'd accidentally picked up his phone looking for a restaurant number, and the log was immaculate, empty, clinical, like a man with nothing to hide, which is exactly what a man with everything to hide looks like. He had a second email account I glimpsed once over his shoulder, a name I didn't recognize, and when I asked casually, he said it was an old business account. His voice didn't even flicker. 3 months before everything collapsed, he started coming home with cash. Not alarming amounts, a few hundred here, a little more there. He'd tuck it into an envelope in his sock drawer, like a teenager, hiding birthday money. When I asked, he smiled that slow, easy smile and said, "Side hustle, babe." Didn't want to jinx it. I told myself that was romantic, that he was protecting a dream. I was 24 and so desperately in love with the idea of someone that I had stopped looking at the actual person. The discovery was embarrassingly ordinary. He left his laptop open. He never left his laptop open. He'd gone to take a shower, and I walked past the desk to get my charger, and there it was, a profile page on a platform I vaguely recognized, a financial community forum. But the username wasn't his name. It was a name I'd seen before on that email, on something he'd once minimized too quickly. And the profile photo was him, slightly different haircut, older picture maybe, but him. And the bio said, "Financial coach. Helping women build wealth and confidence. DM open." I sat down on the floor. I don't know how long I sat there. Long enough for the shower to turn off. Long enough to find the DMs. Dozens of them. Women asking for advice, sending money for one-on-one coaching, sending thank you messages for changing their lives. Long enough to find the payment confirmations in a connected account. Thousands of dollars I had never seen, never known about, funneled through a persona that was nothing but a character he'd constructed to collect money from women who trusted confident men who talked about wealth. He was coaching women on financial freedom, with money they worked for, while I paid our rent. When he walked out of the bathroom, towel around his waist, easy smile already forming, I was standing at the desk with the laptop in my hands. I didn't scream. That surprised me more than anything, the silence in my own body. I just said, "How many of them think you're their mentor?" And his face did something I'd never seen it do. It fell. Not with guilt, with calculation. He was already building a new sentence, a new story, a new version of events. I could see it happening in real time, and for the first time, I saw him clearly. Not the man I'd loved. The mechanism behind him. I put the laptop down. I picked up my phone. I screenshotted everything while he talked. And he talked a lot. Beautiful sentences, perfectly structured, emotionally intelligent manipulation dressed in the language of misunderstanding. I sent the screenshots to 3 of the women in those DMs. I reported the account. I forwarded everything to my own email. Then I packed a bag and I left. Here's the twist nobody tells you about women like me. I started my own account 3 weeks later. Real name, real face, real story. I talked about what financial manipulation actually looks like when it wears the costume of ambition. I talked about the red flags I'd painted over. I talked about paying rent for a liar's vision board. 40,000 followers in 2 months. He never built anything real. But I did. And I did it on my own.